Hey guys, welcome back to Critical Flick. Today I'm going to review Belfast. Belfast is a film that revolves around the city Belfast, a small little neighborhood in that town in Northern Ireland in the 1960s, in the time where the civil unrest was at its peak. There obviously is still some civil unrest in that region, but this is really when things were very heated. You were having fights in the streets, you were having fire bombings. There was all this fight between Protestants and Catholics and this just huge emotional trauma that was taking place in this little area where families are being ripped apart, neighborhoods are being ripped apart. And this story revolves around one family in particular on this little street through all this turmoil. The main focal point of this film is about a child named Buddy, who's played by Jude Hill. He does a fantastic job because he's working his way between these relationships and these conflicts that are happening around him. He doesn't understand what's happening. He's from a Protestant family and he doesn't understand why they hate the Catholics or why the Catholics hate the Protestants and why all this is happening. In the backdrop of all that, you have his parents trying to deal with their own drama and everything that's happening with them. Jamie Dornan plays the father. He's obviously going out. He's trying to make money. He goes on a lot of travel and he has to leave his family behind during all this turmoil in the neighborhood and just all the emotional conflict that goes on. And then there's some really sweet, somber moments to the movie. And I think the movie does a great balance between showing the big conflict and the big idea pictures of what are happening in Belfast at the time to just a small family trying to get by and trying to be happy. And you see like it from a child's perspective. And that's one of the things that works really well in films. I think last year we had Minari, which I think did a fantastic job of showing that through the lens of a child. And I think this movie shows this conflict through the lens of a child in a way that I don't think you could get from another perspective. Bernard directs this film, and I think he's able to really capture the essence of what's happening because he lived during that time through these experiences. And you kind of can see that in the movie. You can see it's a very personal film. While it may not be exactly his life or his experience, he understands it, and you definitely see that in the writing and in the characters that there is a lot put into this movie. It's not a movie that's just kind of a story about a historical event thrown in the background of a family drama. It feels very lived in when you're watching it. It feels like these characters are people that you could relate to and you can understand the struggles that they've been through. One of the interesting things about this movie is that it's filmed in black and white style. It gives it that element of the time period because it's filmed maybe how you would, when you think about it, when you think about historical footage and you look back, this is kind of how you imagine these things. And it really puts you to that time period. I think it has really good set pieces and set design as well. There's some really interesting shots that take place. The cinematography in this movie is way better than I ever expected it to be because a lot of it takes place between, his schoolhouse, basically on this one street. It's pretty much all taking place for the most part on this one street. And you're getting all these different angles through the homes, down the street, all the people interacting, coming in and out of their houses. It really feels like a community. It feels very lived in. It doesn't feel like this large, overly dramatic movie. I think it really captures the essence of what it's trying to do. So if I were to rate Belfast, I would give it a 9 out of 10. I think it's an exceptionally well-made movie. I think it's well acted. I also think, like I said, that the emotional and perspective aspects of the movie are what really help it excel because you're seeing it from a child's perspective. You're getting those really, really powerful family elements to it because you're talking about people that are really struggling to get by, people that want to do the best thing for their family, but they're caught in a very difficult situation. So you're able to take a very personal lens of the director, put that over some really good acting, put that over some writing that feels very lived in and very personal, like I said, and you just get a really great movie out of it. I wasn't expecting it to be what it is. It isn't something that maybe is for everyone. So if you checked out Belfast, let me know what you think about it. I think that some people might kind of find it a little bit boring, but if you really decide to dive into the characters, understand their relationships, really feel the emotions that are being put out there by these actors, I think it's a great movie. I think it's one of the most well-acted movies of the year, and I wouldn't be surprised if it wins a lot of awards this season. So again, thanks for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, and see you guys next time.